Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudi Crest Show. I must confess, people, thank you very much for joining. And of course, the Saudi Crest Show, I've not done any show for a long while, not just for a long while, but for a longer while, people, especially on this content, education. Tonight we have two very interesting topics that we want to look at. These topics will pull a lot of questions, I suppose, and I'm sure that you people have questions that you want answered. And I also want to welcome to all our first time viewers. As you are here, just make sure as soon as you get in, people, hit the like button. And also, I want you to subscribe if you have not done so. In order for you to participate, remember you have to subscribe to the channel for you to get the opportunity to type and to make your comments in the chat. Also, if you want to come live in studio to have a short discussion with us, you can hit the Saudi Crest TV. It's there. You'll see it in the chat, and that's the stream out for you to come live in studio. I must also say, later on, we'll be having two persons coming here, two very, very highly educated and knowledgeable person on these topics coming in later on. So hopefully we will have the JTA president joining us later on, and also the immediate past president of the St. Catherine Jamaica Teachers Association joining us, Mrs. Rhea Richard Spirit. So of course, as I mentioned, the topic tonight, really, how are we doing? How do we take it? So here we have Mrs. Rhea Richard Spirit with us in studio. Mrs. Spirit, good night and thanks for coming. Hello? You're muted, Mrs. Spirit.
Yes.
Oh,
good evening.
very
I'm
good.
right here. I'm right
You
here.
are here. Thank you
Yes.
for coming. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's been a while for true. But you catch
It's been
me
a
this
while. It's
evening.
been a
You
while.
catch me this evening.
Yes, man. And I have to really say thanks at short notice that you take this opportunity to be
Sure.
here. You know,
Definitely. I
I,
just got in.
okay, good.
Yes. Yes. So
You know, as I mentioned, when you look at the topics that we have, the question that I asked on the thumbnail, why did the Jamaica government, or why the Jamaica government seize payments of graduate allowance to the nation teachers? That's one thing that we want to discuss, and I hope that you can help us out there. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, President Mark Smith will join us later, hopefully. And also, maybe we could start with this one, just a little trivia one. You know,
yes.
what's going on in our schools? Yes, power struggle right now at St. James High School. Mrs. Rapier, I don't know, we are educators. What's going on?
I am not sure. I am not sure. There something came out on social media
Yes.
to speak to finances, accountability,
Mhm.
and where two parties can't see eye to eye on accountability, you will always have that kind of struggle.
My word.
Um, and therefore, it's not necessarily power struggle to me,
Mhm.
if that is true. It is more probably say one party is for accountability and the other party may not be willing to be so accountable. But then we're just reading some things out there, right? And we're not
Yes,
sure.
and I mean,
So it would be good if we could get what is really causing the problem. But as it relates to what happened, what we're seeing
mhm,
out there, we can speak to that. It doesn't look good at
okay.
all. No, it's
It
not
doesn't,
looking
and
adults. I am big on social, emotional intelligence, and
my word.
somebody need to understand that we are adults here, and there's a better way to work it out. Because we have to be examples for those who we are set out there, we are put out there to be teaching, to be guiding and helping them to be better individuals in the society. So no matter what it is, it shouldn't have gotten there. The video that comes out shouldn't look like that. And I am not pleased with the behavior.
In all honesty, though, I mean, what we have seen on social media is really, this has been a long-standing issue. It's not the first that we have seen these leaders, knocking horns, if I may say. But, my problem, though, before I even get into what I believe was the matter, my big problem in this is the time that the Ministry of Education takes to really get involved. Even if they get involved, we have not known. And if it is that they were involved and they tried some time ago, why these things keep resurfacing? I think the Ministry of Education really need to take a stand.
They ought to, because all schools have an education officer, right? They're education officers.
Yes.
So what would the education officer be doing during all these years that they're having problems? So it is cause a concern. Um, you see, sometimes I hope it's not for you, but sometimes when the gentlemen are rolling heads
Mm-hmm.
and no one is willing to say, all right, let me practice a little more, what you say now. Just behave differently to behave orderly so that they do not escalate to this. But
Yes.
I am afraid of commenting too harshly, because sometimes what we hear is not always the full truth, and sometimes you err in just being out there speaking freely and openly about the behavior. We obviously saw the video of when the chairman stepped into the meeting. Why did it end in a brawl? If it is true, why would the principal have a problem with the chairman attending a meeting? The chairman, I stand corrected, somewhat is in charge of the school. Is not his school, but everything, the communication, a lot of things goes through. And my
Got you.
experience shows me a chairman who has an amicable
Come on the show,
relationship
make
with
a
the
show.
principal. So that shouldn't have happened.
All right. So my point, and it's not a matter of correction. Yes, the chairman represents the minister of this, as it relates to the school board. But the chairman does not responsible or have, should I say, should use judgment, is not responsible for the operation or the operational activities of the school. So if
Right,
it is it's a staff meeting per se, I'm not expecting the chairman to be storming the staff meeting without, now, I'm not gonna just say without an invitation, but even if you appeared, you must be respectful because he wasn't the one who called the meeting. So I think that's where my big problem in with that situation.
okay. Experience teaches wisdom, right?
Remember,
So,
of course, and remember, board chairs, our board are responsible really for policies. So they
right,
should guide the school, they guide the principal in ensuring that the principal carry out, yes, the policies and so on of the Ministry of Education under the prescribed guidelines.
right.
Not so much to be the operational or the day-to-day manager of the school. So that's where I have a problem.
Okay.
And I
Well,
was saying the bigger problem, and I don't know when I'll get this answer. This is not this is not the first time. And it has been going on for a while. In recent time, there was there were an opposite side as it relates to a particular issue, which I won't get into right now.
mm-hmm,
Yes, it's past and gone. I don't know if it's finished, but the fact that this has happened, I believe, and I strongly believe that not just the education officer, maybe the education officer hands are tied. A matter of fact, he or she cannot do much. He
mm-hmm,
can guide, but the powers that be at the top level of the Ministry of Education. I heard the minister. She spoke about it, and so rightly so, the principal and the chairman should have acted better in a sober way.
Right. So there's clearly also an interpersonal relationship issue, Yes.
Good
So
night, Laverne. Good night. Good night. Laverne is saying that yes, they said he suspended students, and board didn't know. Well, I don't think it's a suspension. It's more expel because dismissing students. Because you can suspend a student. You have the right, the principal have the right to suspend a student if he feels, and these are some clause that maybe we'll have to go back to the legislators. But if he feels that the student or students are a threat to others or to the institution, then you have a right to suspend such student from the institution for a time, not
when it
exceeding
gets
10
crucial,
days.
right, it's usually for expulsion that you go to the board.
Yes, the board has, so that's where the policy comes in now, or the governance. Yes,
Right,
so we have
right,
to make a recommendation to the board. So I think that was the issue right here. So this is what I'm saying. I see now other members from the top grass, I must say, of the Ministry of Education and other agencies of the Ministry of Education stepped in. That should
right.
have gone a long time. But
But
is there really any solution to this sort of thing?
well, a solution is needed because if you're saying if the issue is with suspended students
Mhm.
and the board feels as if they should be aware of it, then is it what is happening? They're not educated on the policies and how they operate within the schools.
No, and of course, I think yes, the board have a right to be aware, but these would have been reports that would have made to the board maybe on a monthly or maybe at board meetings.
Right,
But not every time I suspect a principal would have given a child a suspension, then he would call the board or write to the board to say one child. You understand what I'm saying? It would have been
right,
over a period of time or when there's a reporting period to the
right.
board if that is established. But I think the bigger picture was more so the students were expelled, not
Oh,
suspended, as what Laverne said.
oh, it was expect.
Yeah, man,
You
it
see,
was.
sometimes you're not even sure what to follow on the media. But the school, though, the issues are more than just at the principal and chairman level. Because the teachers, another report that came out was that the school is divided. The teachers, some teachers supporting the principal, some teachers are supporting the chairman. It is just all over the place. I think, as Laverne would have it here, the relationship among staff
Hmm.
members, the principals,
Yes.
needs fixing also.
You see, and it is right. When it reached that stage that, those in the middle taking sides, I'm telling you, it's gonna be one hell of a thing. But my big solution to this, though, there's just one big solution to this.
Yes, let us hear it.
And the big solution is that as it relates, and I want you to listen to me quite well. If you look at how it is guided, the position of board chairman, these are not jobs. Yes, these are voluntary posts.
Right,
They are not being paid. The principal is different. The principal is employed on different merits. And I'm sure that this principal are permanent principal. If
right.
the chairman and the principal is not seeing eye to eye, the best way out right now is to find a middle ground, ask the board chair to step aside. That is the solution.
Uh,
If there's another
dissolve the
person,
board. Are you talking about dissolving the board?
not necessarily the board, then we probably have to find out to see if it is just the chairman having a problem with the principal, or the principal just having a problem with the chairman, or it is the board versus the principal, or the principal versus the board. So that needs another discussion. But
Oh, yes.
what we are seeing and what we are hearing, it's a chairman versus the principal.
Because we're
So it
not
is
hearing, we're not hearing from the others, eh?
no. So
And
it
it
is
had to be the
easier.
PTA who stepped in to inform the parents.
It is easier, in my view, to remove the board chair than the principal. If you remove a board chair, there's no lawsuit. If you try to remove a principal just like that,
Right.
bless up Carlton. What's going on? There you're my boss out of England. Laverne, appointment basically based on politics. Understand he was renamed again as chairman. Yes, he was reappointed, I think, in January or December. Because his stint was, you know, was I tell you the truth. And
So they have been having problems over the years.
yes,
And they recently reappointed him as chairman. Something is
exactly.
wrong with the reasoning level of so many persons involved. Because if there has been is it that he's there then to control the principal on a certain level?
Well, some teachers are saying that, there are issues with the principal. And let me try. There are issues. We can't beat around that. Of course, there are issues. If there weren't issues, we'd have this problem at all. Laverne.
Le-
Well, Laverne know a lot. Laverne, I wonder if you want to join us in studio.
Oh,
The
the
PTA
PT
president is the
president
wife of the
is the
principal.
principal. Oh,
Yes,
but
sir.
so they obviously would have a child there
Apparently.
for her to become the president.
Yeah, and I think if my memory serves me right, I think the principal have a child here. I heard that.
But you see now, conflict of interest.
Well, I would say that too. And so
That's
these are
conflict of
certain things
interest.
that these are the things that need to remove to ensure that you have a clean slate.
Exactly. Okay, on RGR on me and the headlines. Oh, well, they have big issues there. Big issues, and they
So there's
need to
there's a
correct
lot
it.
of issues.
Exactly.
Serious governance issues, leadership, I mean, even followers. And the truth is, I know persons who work at that institution, but I don't try to get any close with that sort of thing.
Direct.
Yes, I don't ask these questions. I leave it alone. I get my own information elsewhere because
Diane said
how things there.
it was absurd, and I agree with her. It is crazy. It
Hey,
is a mess. I think it's a mess.
see, I tell you, this is. I think I think we need to be serious. I need to be. I think the legislator know we need to look at this thing. We need to take the serious politics thing out of education. Yes,
True.
people gonna say no, it can't because it's a long-standing thing. Why is it a long-standing thing and it can't? But yet still you want to make some changes to some things that happened 4 years ago, and we're afraid
Ex-
to change the long-standing thing. We need to
exactly.
make change so we can get effective or efficient.
Politics serves no school well, especially politics hold back a lot of things because one chairman may come this time and then he has a view and he's guiding the school in one direction, and then another one come from another side and they just change it totally to where they'd want to see it going, and then the whole thing of friends and the political associates, it messes up the schools.
And that's why,
I am not sure how we will get away from it. It's not good for the schools.
you see, until we are serious about education, only the serious and well thinking mind in Jamaica who are serious about education need to
Right.
guide the schools.
Because some of them come to the schools to be board chairmen and they have no clue about running a school, and it causes problems just because it becomes a political appointment, and it's doing more harm than good to the schools out there.
And you see, Laverne, you're so right. The, Look at this information. The personnel committee was to meet, yes, but couldn't because there's no quorum. That means the entire board is split.
Exactly. We were wondering, but if you can't get your board members to be in attendance to get the quorum, it's all over. I don't know.
Right now, I believe this is a very serious situation. And if I have any power, if Saudi Crest and Saudi Crest show with the panels and the viewers have any power, my suggestion for now, immediately, I think the Ministry of Education through NCE, who drives our work with the board, should remove the entire board and get persons in education, in the education, Ministry of Education, for a short while, maybe for a month or for a term or for the rest of the school year to guide the process going forward. And
Good
by so
suggestion.
doing, in that time you try to put a perfect or a near perfect board together. But we can't continue. If this chairman continues, I can say, and I'm not blaming the chairman, I'm just saying if he continues, because to me, he's the easiest one to go.
To go
It
because it's
nothing, you
voluntary.
won't do anything.
Yeah.
Because as far as the fact that this is in his second tenure, just reappointed, and then this happened, it won't get any better.
Not
Where
going to get any better.
why we in serious problem in education? Serious problem. So
Oh,
we have Peter want to join us, which is Carlton. Peter, bless up yourself. Good night again.
Yeah. Good night. Good night
we
to you.
want to see, we
Really
want to see
bless you
Carlton
guys.
speak.
Mm. I
Carlton,
said good night. Yeah?
good night.
Yeah. I would
This
love
is
to
your
see my face.
yes.
We only I love to see my face, but it's after 1 in the morning now. So I just wake up and
Oh, so
so
you are in
sad.
bed in England.
My fish support my friend Sandy show.
Okay, okay. So that's Peter. He's calling. He's coming from England, miss, and to our other
The
guests.
what I'm seeing, dedication system down there need fixing. And you're in the field and I see some things that going on. But Carly, I'll say something to you. You know, I say it on here because down Jamaica you have one teacher. No, they don't have enough teacher teaching 3 classes. They cannot get teacher to come teach at the school.
Well, there are some arrangements. There are some legal arrangements like that, Peter, which we call multi-grade in small primary schools, where
I
you
know that.
find, and I'm not sure if we still have one teacher teaching 3 grades. No, I'm sure that we
Well,
have one teacher teaching
I'm,
2 grades. But if you
no man,
see
too,
that,
I don't have a problem with that because you don't know school used to do that from day one. I don't have a problem with that.
mm,
With this small primary school. But when one teacher teaching 3 classes right now at this moment, 100%. But I'm talking at the year, we say to you, we say to you of the
okay,
year.
no
And if you
problem.
know that means if you know any teacher at all we need job because they need 2 teachers, they don't even have a principal. Because
A school, yes,
the principal retire. They don't even have a principal.
okay,
They need a principal plus they need a teacher. They need 2 more teachers.
Okay.
And
interesting,
two teacher, they have to using teacher from infant down the infant to come help teach all the student.
interesting. Didn't know about that at all.
Yep.
All right,
Mm.
so we're here. I hope the powers that they are listening, and I'm sure because there's a lot of persons watch and listen to the Saudi Crash show, they don't want to come and to show themselves up. But I hope that this message will reach Peter.
Yeah. Mm.
All right, let me hear what Laverd is saying. I get it that MOE can manage the school. The NEC was also an RJR. Is it the NEC or the NCE? Because
NEC,
NCE is the
National Education Council.
no, it is the National Council on Education. They are the ones who appoint the boards, a board chair. So it's
Okay.
NCE,
Oh.
all right? And it says it is National Council on Education. That's it,
You,
all
you
right?
know,
Oh.
mm, when I look at it now, Mr. Richard and Sadi, when I look at it, why the teacher them sometimes go away? Why you can have a teacher teaching a classroom for 2, 3 years and you don't fully employ her every year you're signing on that teacher? I never hear anything like that. Why the chairman have to be the one to sign on the teacher? Why not the principal?
Well, I'm not sure the position to or the situation to which you're talking, but as it is, and for permanent appointment, it is being recommended, yes, first by the principal and the board to the Ministry of Education. So if there's
Mm.
no permanent appointment, I'm not sure of the situation you're talking about, but that's how it goes, and the Ministry of Education now would make the final approval.
Yeah, because what I'm saying, I know a teacher that teaching down there now, where they
Mhm.
teaching 3 year inside 3 year inside the school, and they don't employ him. Yeah, every year the chairman have to come and the principal have to come and sign paper to paper to go to ministry that he can get this pay and them thing there. So I
Well,
said to him, so I tell him, it don't make sense you stay down there and them thing there. And then the man get a job abroad and gone up with his family, leave the school leave empty now. So
Okay.
see you cannot have people working somewhere in an organization where you're working and you're working over a certain limited time and you don't employ a staff.
How long ago he left?
Eh?
How long ago
Just
he left?
January,
And he was there 3 years?
3 years, yeah. And I know an next person at the same institution right now. They're 3.5 years now and still but true. I don't want to call say anything on the show. You know.
Yes.
that's
But me
fine.
just highlight it. That's
Yeah.
whosoever is that CEO here, they will know where it's coming from.
Oh,
I know
Hmm.
one teacher teaching
Oh,
three
boy.
classes. They
it
don't they
is.
don't even they don't even have a principal there.
Wow, it's a lot. Right, Saudi?
Yes, it's a whole lot. And I mean, not having a principal, I really can't understand that at all. I
Yeah.
don't,
And for how
I'll have to
long they're
investigate,
without a
sir.
principal?
The
So you'll
principal
have
just
to do some,
the principal just retire.
Oh,
so that means somebody is acting in that post.
Nobody acting. They don't even have teacher for teach the classes.
How many students attended that school?
Maybe about 100.
No, sir. And you don't have teachers and principal.
and you have someone that is acting.
No one acting. Me not ask. I'm going. Me call until you are aware in a Saudi.
All
You know
right, no problem.
because
I
because
will definitely reach out.
mm-hmm. And if you because me say if anyone, me tell you say if anyone know one teacher because me said I know teacher one job, no looking job, but they don't know where to go. Walking with their CV, dropping off to school, and your school is there. Need teacher. Primary is primary. It's a
So
primary school.
you need to recommend her to that school.
No, I said I don't know. If I didn't know anybody, I would recommend them.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think you say
No.
it.
No, I said no. I said I know teachers don't get no school to teach. Some of them leaving doing something else. They cannot get school because they don't know where the vacancy is. They're advertising and because remember, is a school in Kingston I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
You serious?
Yeah, in Kingston I'm talking about.
In
Wow.
the city or in rural St. Andrew? Sure, it's Kingston.
It's St. Andrew, you know.
That's
But
That's
more
in the
like
rural
rural
area.
part of
my, my,
St. Andrew.
my cousin have two sons going to this school
Mm.
and they're doing GSAT now and one of them doing GSAT and the teacher leave now so I want to know who going to teach them to do the next set up a prep exam,
Preparation.
the preparation. Yeah, because they don't have no teacher to teach that now.
That's rural St. Andrew.
Yep.
Oh,
Not too far up St. Andrew, you know. Not
Okay.
too far up.
strange. Strange, strange, strange.
Okay,
Wow.
my friend have sons go there. I'm not call the school name Jacksil because they tell me Jacksil Primary.
Jacksonville Primary. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We definitely will be, going on that one because do some investigation and I'll ask the Ministry of Education to take a look at it. Those that I know who
One
are
hundred
in.
percent. My have two never going there, and that's why they call and tell me. So when we see you talking this, we decide me have to wake up to come on the show.
Okay,
So me know principal leave the other day, retire the other day, and so now they them said to me say it's three different one teacher teaching three classes.
oh Lord.
That is sad.
And no principal is there.
And 100 students, that's a lot
You know,
for the school to be operating like that.
mm.
100 is a lot. That is still a grade 1 school.
I don't know if I don't know if 100 or 80 or so for children still, you know.
But that school probably have the potential to get more students in.
It have potential to get and you know funny it is, you know. I tell you, year time when they having things, they get so much support from the community. I don't if you're a school that get support like that school, you'd over the moon.
Oh my
Wow.
I
God.
get if you see when they having things when they all right, it's like when Christmas time coming and they having treat.
Mhm.
They
Yes.
have the people in the community come down with bunks about every kids get 3-4 present going home, you know.
Okay, interesting.
Every kid, so the people them in the community support the school so much. You know, the top man them, you know, not the small top man them, I say they support the school so much. You know.
I
And
wonder.
I guess you also support them.
Yeah man, them you know, must have to support them, Saudi, you come on. Whenever them I go, them have to support them. So me say if you're a school, me say Saudi, if you're a school get half of those support, Saudi, you're over the moon.
My word.
So I
But that
said,
means,
they
I
need a
mean,
principal up there. They need a principal there. And I think they need at least one or two teachers up there too. Because
okay,
it's a multi-grade as you call it.
yes. All right.
Oh,
And they have a school on the bottom. So it's a multi-grade. So I don't have a problem with the teacher, them teaching two classes and so forth. But you know, okay, you remember the principal did die, I think 2 years ago or last year from up there, Jack's Hill, and they never get a principal. The lady was acting, and then
oh,
the lady retired now.
I really don't remember, but I'll check on it. I'm calling out on the
Yeah,
Ministry of Education. First of all, let me call out, to assist the director for Region 1, which that school would have actually fallen, Mr. Otis Brown, is the regional director, and his team. If you're watching
mm,
and listening, please take a look at the Jacksonville Primary School in St. Andrew. And
my
of course, from there, I'm sure that we have JTA members also who should have an interest in that. We have the
yeah,
PTA, the national PTA body should be
mm,
speaking or should be representing the school to get those assistance. So
yeah.
let me just again call on those in the hierarchy of the Ministry of Education to look at that and to address those matters
Man, it's
urgently.
hard on the teacher. It's because when I look at it, it's hard on the teacher them because for one teacher teaching three classes, and and then when the teacher remember when they teaching three classes, you know, the poor teacher them have to. I don't know the teacher them, you know, but the poor teacher them, I see them. The poor teacher them have to write three different lesson plan. You know how much work that? You know how much
so when
work
you
that's
say
hard?
three, when you say three different classes, you're saying like they're on the same grade level, but three different classes.
No, one teacher teaching like say four,
Grade one,
five, and six,
grade.
and one
Oh,
teaching 1, 2, 3, and 4. One
Yes.
teaching 1, 2, 3. That's what's going on up there in Jacksonville
wow.
Primary. And I have I have me never them there. And when they tell me, I say, no, it can't go like that.
Oh
And it's
no.
like God. So me say I have to wake up to come. When me see says this topic started was coming on. Me never taught the school name, but me never them go there. But me sorry for the teacher them that's there.
But
Because we have to be real. So
while
sadly,
I
if you know any
sympathize,
teacher, if you know any teacher, you can send okay, can send them. They need a principal up there and they need me about two teacher or
That
one.
is that is the
again,
ministries.
just to send the teachers there is not an easy thing, Peter, because one of the
Mm.
things, as we say, if it is that is a multi-grade, and I am almost sure that they would have, gotten rid of that aspect, that level of multi-grading where you have one teacher to three grades. I know still you have one to two grades,
No
but
one
to
teacher
three
to
grades,
two grade. It used to be two grade, but because the principal gone now, what they get to understand, I get to understand that the principal leaves, so them have to split up the classes. They give one teacher grade three to go with grade one, two, and three, and the other one teach four, five, six.
yes, because you still have multi-grade principals teaching to teaching principals.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Teach,
it
but
is it is
yeah,
but
but
I think
if they,
though, with the numbers that you're speaking about, the amount of grades, I don't think that school have probably more than 50 students, based on what you're saying.
yeah, if they all right, if they have, if even start the cover, if even 40 students, it don't fear for one teacher teaching three class.
No, man, I'm agreeing with you now. I'm just trying to put the numbers together to see how we can
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
it.
All right, put it this way. Say it's 50 or 40 or 60. It doesn't matter one teacher. I can understand grade one and two, three and four, five and six, fine. No problem. But when they call and tell me, they tell me, say, me never that's do GSAT. They don't have no GSAT teacher there now because the principal retire. Not GSAT, just prep how you call it. Understand me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Peter, again, it, I don't think. Oh boy, they will not have three and four together. And those two
So,
different curriculum. So I understand
but
one, two, three, and maybe that is the reason. So another teacher would be good, or another two teachers, I would say, because you won't
yeah, two
have
teachers.
one,
All right,
two, and
one
three,
teacher.
or three
If
and
they get
four
one more,
together.
if they get one more teacher that good, we can teach one for teach grade five and six. We could
Okay.
get one for teach five and six, and one to teach three and four, and one teach one, two. Fine,
Well, three and four can't work.
you know.
Three and four should not pair together because two different curriculum.
So four, so maybe they might do four, five, six then.
So maybe that's why they're having four, five, and six together, and one, two, and three
One,
together, knowing that they only have
yeah,
two teachers.
yeah. But if the teacher, the teacher, the principal gonna retire. Don't you should put out and say you need a principal for that school.
That's the
I
process.
need a teacher.
I said this one seems to be a very special case. So, I'll have to do some other work, some other investigation while I'll call on the authorities to, do some checks and to ensure that the business of
Well,
the
I
school
tell you,
continues in a very.
I 150% is so it go because my never tell me said they have to go to a different teacher to teach.
And I understand. All right. So again, another call for the Region 1 team to take a serious look at Jackson Primary and also the PTA body. All persons, all stakeholders in education. We need to get all hands on deck. So, Mrs. Rea, from your position, your point, we'll have to look at. All right, so we want to close out this section as we speak. So the matter of governance and leadership in schools need to be addressed, and where we find these situations, I think the Ministry of Education, they go run education, while the board has a part of by law they are totally responsible. I heard the minister saying that it's like our hands is tied based on the policy, based on the governance of school and the position to which board chairs hold. That I can understand, and you may need legislation to change that. But as it is now, with this situation, the Ministry of Education need to step and say, listen, we need to take control of this school or these schools.
Yes.
All right. So, people, I'm telling you the truth. I hope that this is the beginning to an end of these sort of situations. And I hope I've seen a lot of people down there. I see persons from NCE. Yes, I heard that the acting chief education officer, Mrs. Terry and Thomas Gale, was there, and of course the regional director must be there. I think her name is Pinnock. I don't remember her first name. Yes, and other member. So it must be of a situation where you are looking for possible, not just possible solution, but solutions that can really solve these problems. You know?
Makes sense.
Yes.
And I can agree with you if it means putting away the board and the ministry steps in, put some persons in place to
Mm-hmm.
guide the school along using the policies to help the school. The school probably even need rebranding right there in St. James.
that
Just
that 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 St. James I have a high history, a long history.
yes,
So rebranding it could be a very good thing. And
yes.
yes, it probably need rebranding. But guess what? I don't think you and I have that um pay scale to address that.
Just putting things out there. It
Yes.
doesn't look
But
good at
definitely it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
and I mean, how do the students see them? Because the children that we teach in these days, trust me, they look for the something all the time to say, but if you did do this, then me never see sir do that, and me never see miss do that. But after I not live good, those comments they will give it
Yes.
to you
Yes.
because
And
it is what you display.
you saying that now giving me it seems like I need to make a trip down to St. James High to do some investigation. You need to get first hand information from all the stakeholders down there. I wonder
Yes.
if I could get that opportunity to do so tomorrow.
And then because of that, now the parents may have to come to the school. And when they come there, they come with no respect for teachers because they not live good. And I can't chat to it. And I can't chat to it with children because after no know
My
for live.
God.
So
But
there's so
So
many
it's a
things
very tough
out
situation.
there, so many side effects, knockoffs from
Mhm.
what we would have seen on social media.
So definitely I will get some details on what's going on, where they reach, and to see if there are any, I mean, workable solutions already in. I say solutions because it can't be one right now, because there's you know, issues, not just one. I believe in that institution. All right. And
Yeah.
I just hope that the students, especially the students who are, looking forward to sitting external exams, have not really suffered from that one day. And I hope that it will not continue. Boy, I don't even want to say it. You can imagine in and around that time for CSEC, City and Guilds exam.
SBAs.
Oh, and
SBAs at
SBA. So,
this time.
at this time. So they need all the minute, all the seconds they can get in the school, in the institution. The students should be in school.
Well, I want to tell my colleagues, come together. Don't let what happened be anything that is going to affect how they prepare the students for CXCs, because that is important. It talking about their future and just helping them to get over the hurdle is very important.
Yes.
So go back and behave as normal. Teachers teaching children, and children who are out of control and think that they must do whatever they want to do. But just play your part as teachers ought to and help the children with their SBA. Get it along, move it along so that the students can be successful at the end of the day.
As you
so
mentioned that, I got a text. First, don't want to type in the chat, so
Right.
it comes directly to my WhatsApp. Sorry, Chris. When students misbehave in such vulgar situations, they get suspended or even expelled. What will happen to these adults now that they behave this way?
They should be
All right,
exposed.
Mark. Thank you for that one. It's a very good question.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. But so sorry, like
Good.
my nephew them now, if I move them from the school I call them up GSAT, you think it would be right for me move them now? That's them go somewhere where them can get proper teaching for do them paper exam because them say them have two more exam or maybe the syllabus is different.
No, which grade are they in?
Grade 6.
Oh, well, one of the problem is it can be arranged, and if it is that as a parent or the guardian who believe, and you can substantiate that these are, what would I say? No, they are short change in my own words. They are not being given enough preparation, time, and content to sit the exam. You can
But then
see
see,
that it's not easy though, because doing the exam, any school you go to now, that school will not have any information for you. So the
that's the thing.
examination papers and so on, everything will go back to the school to which they come. But I'm sure that arrangements can be made. It's a bit tricky, it's a bit sticky though, because I've seen where very late transfer was done. And it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of communication between all stakeholders to get it done. But it can be done.
But I beg you do because more me never them more them get good grade for pass to go to school or them want to go. Once they want to go JC, one go old man. So more of them do they get them good grades. So I beg you do make them get a principal up there, a teacher up there we can teach those students that thing. I beg you young lady, if you please if you send up there. I mean I just mind never them me worry about, but I'm
No,
saying
no, no, no.
these people.
But that's selfish. You can't be just your nephews. You should worry about all the children.
Yeah.
No, me worry about all the children, worry about all the children. Them, and me sorry for it's the teacher them. Me sorry for because I tell you when those poor, I don't know the two teacher them down there now. That's up here because me never was telling me. But what I'm looking at when those people go home in the evening and have three different, what they call it, lesson plan to do. If you don't want lesson plan, much less three. You know how that is. And then people disrespecting the teacher, them have to say them this, them that, and boy teacher they need help.
So
That
well done, well said.
if what you're explaining to us is really true, it is must be difficult. It must be hard. No
My friend,
principal.
I'm, I'm telling you this. I'll put my neck on the block to cut you
So
off.
hold
Say Israel. My
so
nephew they
hold
call me
on.
say
No, Peter, don't put your head on the block on this show. Not at all.
no.
But and who they're giving the lesson plan to? Because teachers who have principals don't even want to write lesson plans. So if they don't have a
Right.
principal, I wonder who they're giving the lesson plan to.
So those
Because
teachers
also
are they are so committed.
they're very committed. Because the ones
Mm.
So
who say
Peter,
I do not need a lesson plan. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know what I'm teaching. So I'm not sure
Right.
who they're giving the lesson plans to if they're doing it.
Because some people may be doing lesson plan. But that's what I say. I don't think they should do in their lesson plan every day. That's what I'm saying. If you know what you're doing, you just teach some. But some principal, some principal oh, we need a lesson plan. You need lesson plan. You
But
know.
they really do not do it every day, dude. I think they more do it bi-weekly or something like that. So
Well,
it's
I couldn't say if I
still
didn't know one of the teacher, then no, I could call them and ask them, but I don't know them to call them and ask them that thing because my nephew tomorrow make me talk to one of the teacher them up there and so forth. Because I tell you, it's sad. When I sorry for the kids and the teacher them up there because no principal.
so your nephews have a cell phone at school.
No, when he go home, he have phone at home. I will call him in our time in Jamaica now.
They're going to
well,
nine
sir.
minutes to nine, so you can probably call them and let them get the teacher's number, so you can
Yeah.
get a call after. Okay.
Yeah, and then I will call you Saudi and make you know what is what and tell you everything when I get the information.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do
But
some investigation. I'm sure
yeah,
my
man,
co-host here will also
you
do
not
that.
you don't even have to investigate this, my brother. All you need to do try get a principal up there or a teacher up there for help them out of there. That's the only thing I tell you. If you can get a grade 4 and 5 teacher, that would then be great.
All right, Peter, I'll try. I can't really get a principal or a teacher, but I will make the representation, as you know, and then
Yeah.
I'll see how that works. All right. So, Laverne,
Yeah,
what
man.
are you saying? Can't manage the lesson plan business and in and out of the conversation.
She, she
Laverne, say you can't manage the lesson plan business. But I understand, Laverne.
and Laverne would have a principal, right?
I'm sure, Laverne, you want to? Laverne, see the link there, you can jump in and give us your
She
take.
probably out of the conversation now.
No, she don't want to hear about the lesson plan thing. So that's why she's in and out.
Uh,
Anyway, thank you very much, Peter, for that one. And as I
Yeah.
said, I hope that the drama at St. James, and if there's any other institution in Jamaica that's going on, I hope it ends. And so we can move on and make the business of education continues in a very positive way. All right.
right.
So our topic continue. And again, people, I'm looking forward, hopefully, that you'll be able to join us. The president of the JTA, Mr. Mark Simit, Dr. Mark Simit, I must say, will, we plan to come and share a few things with us based on what is happening. So the question now, Rhea, and the question to Jamaica, those who know, the question to the Ministry of Education, the question to the Ministry of Finance. Why is it, or why did the Jamaica government cease payments of graduate allowance to the nation's teachers? There
Well,
are many teachers, Rhea. Okay, you're bonding with family. Okay, that's nice. I'm happy that you're bonding and still showing us a little love on this Articles show. Yeah, there are a number of teachers for the month of February. They were not paid the graduate allowance that was given to them earlier. I don't understand. I can't understand. But there are so many things that are going on. Have you gotten any report or complaint about this?
actually, yes. One teacher called me from last week from a particular school to explain why is it the government is no longer paying for the master's allowance. And I was surprised when she asked. So I went about investigating, and I
Mhm.
found out that it was mainly the ministry paid schools that,
Okay, that suffers.
yes, where it happened. Some Bursa paid schools, they apparently ran out of money to pay it. So some Bursa paid schools are affected
Okay.
also. Um, you see, the thing is, sometimes probably what the Ministry of Education does, the Ministry of Finance is not aware of it or part of it. So there can be conflicting reasons as to why that
Yes.
money was not paid. But who knows? It may be above my pay grade. What do you know about it? Did you hear anything?
Well, you see, one other thing about this, and I want to make sure those who don't know about this whole thing and how it came about. Yes. So let me see if I can share something. But with that, though, I must say it was part of the agreement from the last negotiation. Well, I was told that I shouldn't say negotiation because
It wasn't.
it was a
Is it
reclassification, so to
right?
speak, not negotiation. But initially, that master's allowance, based on the government, they want to take that away from the teachers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was told. And so the JTA now decided to negotiate further and to bat for the teachers. Yes, in an effort to have the teachers being paid this allowance. So I have something on screen. I'm not sure how clear it is for those who can enlarge your screen or to stretch it. Let me see if I can give it a little bit more size. All right.
Right.
You're able to see it right there?
Right.
Okay. So this was a memorandum and this was addressed to the PS, Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kesan Chuk, then. right? You see, make sure we bring it up. So you see, people,
Right.
right? That was addressed to them. Now, to let this clear, it is also coming from the financial secretary, Wayne Jones, to Dr. Chu. All right? And
Mm-hmm.
for those who are unable to read it because of his size, let me just read this letter here. So it's memorandum of understanding concluded between the government of Jamaica and the Jamaica Teachers Association. Appendix 1, Item 8, graduate allowance. All right, so that's the topic. Reference is made to the memorandum of understanding signed between the parties, detail that caption and consequent reintroduction of the graduate allowance with effect from April 1, 2024. So that means those teachers, all of us who have that master's degree would have received that allowance. Am I right?
You're correct.
Good. In regard, please be advised of the following. And this, number one, the new arrangements for the payment of graduate allowance to public sector teachers is with effect from April 1, 2024. Number two, having used the graduate allowance to convert affected teachers. And I want you to listen carefully now. Let me go
Mm-hmm.
again. Having used the graduate allowance to convert affected teachers to the new compensation system with effect from April 1, 2022, the allowance is no longer payable to those teachers. You follow that one?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to number three because we're going to come back to that. The new arrangement as of April 1, 2024 is applicable to teachers who obtain the applicable qualifications subsequent to April 2022.
Right.
All right, let me just put a little spin on it, and I'm going to start from number three.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, and this is the question I want to ask, if you did not receive your master's allowance, yes, before April 1, 2022,
Right.
then you will not be, it will not be applicable to you as a teacher.
Is it before or after?
After, if you have not received it, so if you don't receive it before April 1, then,
Mm-hmm.
so if you receive it after April 1,
One. Right.
you're right, it will not applicable to you.
Right.
So that begs the question now, Mrs. Richard Spirit. I am wondering if those teachers are some of those, I take it back because I'm sure that teachers were in the right are now in the wrong
Right.
from the ministry.
Yes.
But if it is that these teachers who receive those payments should not have received them.
That's what you're referring to at number two now.
Number three,
So the new arrangement as of that is applicable to teachers who obtain applicable qualifications subsequent to April
1 2022.
2022. So
Yes,
they're saying you will get it, the new arrangement, as of April 2024, as long as you received it before April 1, 2022. So the
good.
persons after April 1, 2022 will receive their masters after this date will not get the new arrangement.
Exactly.
Right.
So
So
that is
that's
the reason. So that's what I'm asking. I'm wondering if the teachers who have not received this payment this month, they shouldn't have been received because they would have received their masters
no man.
after April 2021.
No, those just across the board in the school.
So basically everybody is
Everybody.
affected.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am of the understanding that there are some schools that the ministry was to start
Mhm.
paying that our births are paid. That if the ministry had taken them over fully, those schools would have been affected.
Yes, because
But
it is that the schools that are paid from central government, they are the teachers that are affected.
right. And then my understanding, and if you look at it logically, I can't understand why the government is having a problem paying us as master teachers, teachers with their masters,
Mm-hmm.
the increment that we were getting prior to, why they need to cut it out and determine who will get it. One, it's not encouraging teachers to study more in the system, even if they decide to stay and not go abroad. It's your passion, you love it. Why should I go and get a master's if you're not going to pay me for it with this new system? Or since the restructuring, it's not even reclassification, it's restructuring.
Restructure. Okay.
Yes, restructuring. Two, the other consideration. If you leave high school with, say, 5 subjects,
Mm-hmm.
or just they may start you, I'm not sure of the term that they use, but they may start you at, say, level 1. But if you
In,
go and do a degree, they may move you to a level 2 and you get some kind of promotion within the ministry. If you go and you do a master's, it's likely that you can get a promotion because you have a master's and you get more money. Am I right?
okay. That is in the Ministry of Education or different ministries.
No, the other ministries.
Okay.
Think
Yes.
about it. So why is it
Okay.
a teacher who would have gone through the same thing? You probably start off with a diploma, or should I put it then a degree trained teacher and a degree trained teacher with the masters? Why is it
Mm-hmm.
we're only limited to an increment or 2 increments? And then they would have gone as far as to withdraw the increments that we got. Because I'm sure the other persons in the other ministries, when they get an increase, it's not, say, at $12,000. It may be more. So they're being
Okay.
unfair to us as teachers. And I think they need to reconsider their position. But who am I? But do others have the same view as I have? It is unfair. So they shouldn't even take it away.
I think as it relates to all the public sector bodies, the teachers are the body that, the educators, it's very confusing, very frustrated as well, because if you should compare qualification levels, yes, in the different ministries with that of education,
Right.
you recognize that those persons are paid based on their qualification.
Right.
As a teacher,
Yeah.
I tell you, it's basically flat rate. That's what you're saying.
So
Because
why
persons with
we
this
relegated to
experience,
only a graduate trained teacher?
mhm,
There's no encouragement. There's no motivation to move up to a teacher with masters or a doctorate.
you see,
And
a lot of persons, now I'm going to say this, but persons may find it um, offensive. But I will say it anyway. You mentioned that it's not encouraging, yes,
yes,
to do a master's degree. But if you are interested in a master's degree, once you're interested in a master's degree, and for many of us who are unable to pay for it cash from our savings, we tend to go to our loan agencies.
yes,
Now, the return on that, the amount that is paid for the masters, cannot repay the loan.
no, no, not at all. So
So
what you
that doesn't make any good sense.
you may
Any
be paying for that
economical
masters up
sense.
until retirement.
I'm sure you won't pay take so long, but
Well, it depends on when you went out there for it.
come
It's
on, this is serious.
independent.
Hey. No,
Because
no,
some
it is
people
very
will do it.
serious.
Seriously though, some persons may do it for self-actualization, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you're not rewarded for it.
No, but you see, if I'm going to go on a platform now to say, listen, let's debate as a teacher. Should I go ahead and pursue a master's or not? Based on what I am feeling and based on the experience that I have, because I felt it. For the term, and if you take out a loan on a 5-year payment, people, and your payment for your loan is say $25,000 monthly, and you're getting 6 to 8, let's say $8,000 per month for the masters. Look at where we are. Look at the difference. So economically, that's not good. And I want to say, as Miss Spirit mentioned, actualization or self, that you don't want to put it on. You could use all the good adjective to using self necessary up there. But if you take self into consideration, you're gonna go yourself 8 from 25. That's how much? 17,000 dollars poorer for 5 years. And that's the problem I have with it. And now, after persons would have banded their belly, yes, probably have to, you know, reduce even their meals intake for the family just to ensure that you stay up to speed in terms of qualification. You have to now borrow to repay the loan.
Yep. Yep.
Because if you have a budget that you set up from your salary, you have to take it from somewhere else from that. So you're borrowing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like what I said some time ago, and a lot of teachers would have knocked me off my feet because I'm too harsh. That makes teachers always in debt. Can we even borrow from ourselves? We mash up our own budgets.
Mm-hmm.
And now, after doing that,
Can you
you're
tell me
that
these are
this
a
payment will discontinue. But if it discontinued, though, what happened to the retractive that was given? Will they take back that as well?
I said, can
It's
you tell me
straight.
what it
We
is?
really need help. We really need to
What
understand fully
I
what is happening. We really need to understand what is happening with non-payment of the graduate allowance for for this month. Well, the good thing is that the ministry came out to say that they will be paying the money by Friday. So I do hope that that will be the case because they may see it as a small amount, but there are teachers who genuinely want that money because
Mhm.
they have budgeted, yeah, make it's a part of their budget for the month. So when you go and remove it, it's affecting them.
Let me tell you
That was
something.
a little money that they even if they use it to say, in Jamaica we have partners. So suppose I then look up partner money that they must may save it. No, they have to go into the other part. So
well,
percent count when the money is, especially when the money is small. So they need to pay it.
Sadi, me
But
not talk you, Sadi. I'm not talking you, Sadi. Not what I'm saying, when most of these persons come and they go in from the ministry, when the Ministry of Education come, they all choke. They all forgot what they're saying to what them were supposed to say. Because if if something happen and they go, they're just like they're going to meet the prime minister and to say something. When they go, they're just dumbstruck. I don't say you, nor lady, nor Mr. Shad. I don't say that. You understand? But they are dumbstruck, and that is
well,
the problem with Jamaica.
this understanding of the allowances between our union and the
Mm-hmm.
ministry, I and the union is standing strong. The
Mm-hmm.
president was very upset that the teachers did not get this money. and he didn't mince words to tell the ministry how he, no, he minced no words to tell them that they're playing with fire. So I don't think he's mincing any words with the ministry. He's standing up strong, and they really came out to say that they're going to pay the money on Friday. But what we need to understand now, you know, what will this happen in March?
Wait, I don't know what to say, miss. I really
Because
don't know what to say.
there's something else pending that we need to know about. So, as Saudi Crest said, that the JTA president should be joining us. I hope he'll be here to help us to understand what is happening, and if we'll get the money should be coming also in March. Or will we have
True.
to start over this? Because while they did say that the money will be paid on Friday, did they say that it will not happen again?
Which money will play on Friday?
The allowance, the allowance, this money, the money that was not paid, the master's money,
Mm-hmm.
they did say that all the teachers affected will get the money by Friday, on Friday.
Well, let me tell you something. I'll have to wait until Friday before I can believe that, you know.
Well, we're
I was
holding,
reliably informed that
yes,
this information would have reached, I was taken to the Minister of Education before, based on what was, being said in public spaces. And they would have said, no, 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 don't worry about it. That will never happen.
and you're speaking specifically to the master's allowance payment.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
But
okay,
before you go, I have a little clippings that I want to play, a portion of it. And even though you see what is being
that
addressed
title,
there,
yeah.
yes? So let me just play that one.
That is outstanding. That is another big issue. This has been signed off already. It would have been placed in the supplemental budget. We have not seen it. Today, we have gotten some reports coming to my office stating that
Can you hear
some
it?
teachers are not in receipt of their graduate allowances. And it's unfortunate because of all the other issues we have. We should not be talking about what I consider administrative issues, and this is some mix up between the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education. And again, you're creating the context where teachers don't feel valued, and that underpins. And it's almost like a fork in the beer for good reason. Yes, I hear you on that. So restive, but still negotiating, still discussing. Well, I'm giving 24 hours for this matter to be rectified because we're talking about not paying over money that was agreed in the heads of government. So I can understand that the teachers are not.
You hear the threat coming from the president.
24
Yes?
hours.
24 hours.
To ask you, teachers are restive again? There is several outstanding situations that we have in terms of increments that are outstanding that need to be paid. We have traveling that is outstanding. That is another big issue. This has been signed off already. It would have been placed in the supplemental budget. We have not seen it. Today, we have gotten some reports coming to my office stating that some teachers are not in receipt of their graduate allowances. And it's unfortunate because of all the other issues we have. We should not be talking about what I consider administrative issues, and this is some mix up between the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education.
Mix up.
And again, you're creating a context where teachers don't feel valued, and that underpins. It's almost like a fork in the beer for good reason. Yes, I hear you on that. So restive, but still negotiating, still discussing. Well, I'm giving 24 hours for this matter to be rectified because we're talking about not paying over money that was agreed in the heads of government. So I can understand that the teachers are not taking any brief where that is concerned. Dr. Smith, thank you as usual. Always a pleasure. Respect. Dr. Mark Smith, who's president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Ramon Gordon.
So it just a little clippings there from that interview I was taken from CVM.
Mm-hmm.
No, he spoke about 3 different issues there, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to say this, and I hope that the little information I get is somewhat credible.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I go investigate it, so whatever I get, I will share. I was told, but the mix up between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Finance is a serious one because these monies should not have been paid over yet to the teachers. So the
Because you
Ministry of
meant that
Finance,
the supplemental budget.
exactly. That means nothing should be paid over before the start of the present financial year. No, nothing was allocated. The Ministry of Finance never allocated any funds to undertake these payments.
So who sent the letter to Dr. True?
You
That's the
never see.
question. Who sent where the signature on it? Which department it came from to Dr. True?
Well,
Did it mention anywhere in the letter that it's not to be paid until 2025 or 2026? It said
no,
April 1, 2024.
2024. That's what it says.
So if
But
ministry, if the ministries are problem, finance and education, then you see we're going down at St. James.
so it's everything that is a problem.
If they are having problem, if they're the leaders and they're having
Mhm.
issues and it's affecting us as teachers, then that's not good.
So what I am saying, because as it relates to media release, and you would have known that, it is the communication officer would have sent out those communications.
Exactly. You expect that it is credible information or the letter is credible, it should have weight from one ministry to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, guys. Man, go back, go get some sleep now after 2 now. So good night to you, lady, and your Sadi.
All
Man,
I
right.
thank you
recall.
very much. Sir.
Yeah,
Very
and I
useful.
remember
Thanks for
when the
sharing.
president come, remember to tell the president to
Okay.
what's taking place in Jacksonville. That he can look in that situation. Okay, if he's the president.
All right, I will.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
All
Good
right.
night. Yeah.
All right. So, Rhea, you said that they said by Friday payment will be made, right?
That's what the news said and the articles, what they was published with the
All right. So I
minister.
get another text here. Before me read it, let me go. B Fergie. Respect and thanks for joining. Such a situation requires strong leadership so that individuals will not have to represent themselves. Interested? All right. What is that? I can't pronounce that name. Is that Beria? SDA Old Harbor. Respect. Thanks for joining. Some teachers have indicated that the allowance is now being reflected in their account. All right.
Okay, great.
I got that text as well. So I was just about to read it. Since you have it, thank you very much. So they said by Friday, so they started to give that reflect. So I'll have to now go and check on all those persons who I got information from to see if anything has reflected in their account.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good news for the teachers. I'm happy for that. So thank you,
Wonderful.
Mr. Mark. The playing with fire thing works.
Yes, the 24-hour thing worked.
And listen, let me tell you something. It seems like this is the way we'll have to get some address to our situations or to our
Oh my.
different problems.
Oh my.
Threat.
Oh
Why
my.
should we be threatening, especially in education? It's very serious. Very, very serious. But again, leading up to all of this, Mrs. Rhea Peart, there's another situation that I want us to look at. Another letter coming from the communication arm of your organization.
You mean our organization?
I know you'd set out on that, man.
Yes, man. I can't leave you out. We have to own
Yeah.
it. We have to
Yes.
own our union.
And of course, I'm owning it as well. Right, I'm trying to. All right, so this is the media release. Teachers upset over unresolved salary issues. This was dated February 2024. All right. You see this non-payment of retroactive mileage allowance. Yeah, April from April to November 2022. That's good news if it is that they're gonna pay.
Oh, that came
Yeah,
out?
yes, they said that it will be paid over.
Well, good. Because
So,
it is unfair for some teachers to be going around using their gasoline and not being paid mileage. I can
and
speak like the guidance counselors who are required to go on the road quite often.
you see the sad part about it, this is rare period. It's not a lot, of persons traveling, are claiming,
Exactly.
as it relates to the number of teachers that we have. And it's not even one third.
The teachers we have and they're holding on to it.
And they hold into those things.
And they expect the work to be done
Of course.
because the teachers have their appraisal. So if you sit down and do not go out there and do the work, how is it going to be done? What your appraisal will look like?
It's really sad. I'm hoping that we get Mark Smith anytime soon because we're heading to a hour and a half. I believe we would have the show for an hour. But I'm still looking forward. Again, Ray, I'm just gonna post this just for the viewers. I think you have this as well, relative to the
Yes.
media release that was placed, and right? Just to understand, or just to let the viewers see clearly what we are talking about. It's not something that is coming from what we think. But these things were true communication between the JT and the Ministry of Education. And all of this were done, and the agreement were done from the MOU that was signed under the new restructure according to Rio. But I say new compensation packages.
Right.
Right. So Ria, and another part of it, just sharing for people to see. What I also heard, and this is something that I cannot tell you that it is solid information or this is the right thing. I was often told that this graduate allowance that should not have been paid already was part of what in the negotiation was called the sweetener.
Well, some
Tell us
persons
about
may
this.
call it, my understanding, some persons may call it sweetener. During the
Call what?
negotiation, the JTA was always maintaining that we should not lose this benefit. But remember, it was not a negotiation. Some persons are mixing it up where the JTA really had a chance to go there and talk, even though it was a long time. It
Mhm.
wasn't a case where the minister said we're going to negotiate at this time. I
Yes.
remember watching the news and he said what he's doing is a restructuring, it's not a negotiation. So basically what he did was had his thing presented and we must take it or leave it, though we fought and we got a little bit more. So one of them was to take away all the allowances. JTA was always strong. And why? Why is it a teacher would go and do their masters and you're taking away that extra money from them? It's not even what you'd have paid other persons in the other ministries. So this is the amount. Do not take it away.
Yes.
However, the agreement then though was that they will continue the negotiation even if we signed.
Mhm.
So that is what happened. It's a continuation of some of the things that were not agreed to upon signing. Because they said that we need to sign in order to get the money to be paid in 2020. In 2020, when they paid the money in 2022 or
Mhm.
something like that, they paid the money sometime immediately after. So it was just something to be concluded, because at the time with Mr. Johnson, IPP Johnson, Leighton Johnson, I
Yes.
was on council. So I would have heard some of that to say they're continuing with the negotiation. So some may see it as a sweetener, but it was something to be carried on after the signing.
So who called it a sweetener?
Well, some persons some persons may call it a sweetener because you get it after, so it's to sweeten up the whole thing of the restructuring. I'm not sure.
And this is the strange thing, this sweetener argument comes around. But giving it what it takes, then, Rhea, let's put it this way. If it is that there's an agreement, why is it that the government is going back and changing what was signed up?
Oh boy, our government in Jamaica here.
It,
I would well, you obviously, based on what our president is saying, Dr. Smith,
yes.
some confusion, some administrative issues between the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education. They would, well, we're not going to hear, but there must be some issues between them, some miscommunication. But then I'm thinking also, I am waiting on some correct answers, somebody to answer that question. Who wrote that letter to Dr. Troop at the time to say that
I,
we should be paid the money?
I was told, you see,
Mhm.
I was told that one of those letters should not have reached the public.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I heard that the letter leak, and that's why they have to act on it because it prematurely.
no, but my understanding,
Yes, tell me.
there's another document. When I saw it and I questioned,
Mhm.
I was told that it is a leak, but that one is not the graduate allowance.
No.
One is the increment that we're supposed to be getting as of April 1 this year. Because what used to happen also, we'd get increments until we no longer, prior to the restructuring, we'd get increments yearly until
Yearly.
yearly until no more. And then you work for 3 years and you can apply for seniority and you'll be at have seniority one. With the restructuring, they also removed increments. So JTA would have gotten them to revise that also. Based on the revision, I'm telling you based on my understanding, what after
Mhm.
doing my investigation and getting information,
All right.
was that leaked document was stating that the government would have sent it, the members of the different unions would have signed to say, if you submit your claims by November, we'd want to reach a certain point in the negotiation or complete the negotiation by March 31.
Of this year?
Yes. So that come April 1, it would come in effect. But if you notice the last document that you posted here,
Mhm.
something is the number 3 or just above number 3 said we need to start negotiation now.
Okay. Let me
So
get it.
so what is happening? If what I'm getting or understanding is that if the negotiation starts really late and
Mhm.
nothing can be signed off by the end of March, then it's like we would have given up the increment. So in order for us to get the increment, negotiation should have started. And if it could be resolved by the end of March, then we would get the increment.
Yes.
Scroll down.
To scroll down.
Yes, scroll down to second page, page 2. See it there? Hold on. See it there?
The pace
Minimal,
of negotiation.
the pace of, yes, yes. This one here, that says the pace of negotiation.
Okay.
See there, the JT, the last sentence, and if you read all of it, or the viewers can see all of it. So they adjusted our claim cycle to submit our claim by the period of November 30 to facilitate the conclusion of the negotiations by March 31st. This timeline would see teachers receive the increments which were unilaterally withheld during 22-25 contract period. We have to date been called to one meeting on January 28 to clarify the claim submitted. With March commencing later this week, we have reached the end of our patience. The Jamaica Teachers Association stands ready to negotiate this claim and eagerly await a call from the Minister of Finance to treat with these important matters.
All right. So this is coming from Leon Nash, Administrative of Communications of the JTA. All right. So
if you have the document that is so-called leak, that would have indicated that the negotiation should end by March 31st.
yeah, and I have the leak document too,
Yes.
But I'm not gonna leak it any further until I get Dr. Smith on.
Okay. So I'm getting that is what is happening. That the Ministry of Finance need to start the negotiations in order for us. So they can't come. Now that JTA reach out to them and say, hey, we're holding you to this unilateral agreement. Don't come and tell us that the teachers can't get the increment that they're supposed to get, because we're not the ones who would have been holding up the process.
But you see what I'm saying to you too, or what I want to say. The Ministry of Finance, or let me say the minister.
Yes.
Because what took place in the last agreement or structure, whatever you want to call it,
right,
there was sort of a bully sort of thing from the Ministry of Finance on the JTA.
Yes.
I wonder now with this minister that we have, who did not make an effort to assist while she was Minister of Education. I wonder she's in the position now, how will she take her stance? Would she have a sort of bully stance or a more favorable stance? What do you think?
I'm yet to hear her speak, so I'm waiting. You want to tell me?
You had to hear her speak?
Yes.
On this matter?
Speak
is that so? Okay.
Have you heard her? You have heard anything from her?
Yes, man. You're on the different platforms as well.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure. I'm going through this leak document here, but I'm not gonna post it tonight. I would post it if Dr. Smith was here, but for now I'm gonna leave it at that. But the truth of the matter is, even though the teachers are getting back that money, I am still interested in the reasons why these payments were seized. Why is it I'm still interested? Because if it was seized then, I strongly believe there's another Caesar coming.
Well, we leave it to our president, but he was strong on the teachers affected to get their monies. So I have the same question. What will happen what will happen in March?
Because if he never came out and swinging and do all sort of threatening, I am almost sure next month, March, you will hear that I
It's
will
the,
get some
all
recovery. Yes,
the
man.
Jamaican teachers.
Recovery payment or payment recovery. You laugh. All that money that would have received through the for the what you call it again?
Graduate allowance.
Yeah, the lump sum. Yeah, the retroactive amount.
60, the 60 and the 40%.
Yes.
Oh my.
If that is the case, that's what I was concerned about too. We'd have to repay them. And at some point, you know when the Ministry of Education said that they are recovering money from us, how it goes.
Oh yes.
So we'll have to be careful. And I hope I'm really not wishing for that to happen. I hope it doesn't, because it will have a significant negative impact on the education system. It will. And not at this time. Too many
Well,
things are happening. Too many times we have
the
disruption in this.
ministry, the
And I would
ministry
say,
definitely see more
yeah, man.
teachers going.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I believe and I have faith in our teachers that this year we will not have a lot of teachers going.
Okay.
I have the faith. I think the teachers are looking and are doing a lot of research now in the different areas.
The ones here can no more can leave it a bit. It we
Hey,
well
listen,
sieved out. We well sieved out, right?
I'm telling you, we are at our risk end. And as I hear Peter saying that teachers and principal not at a particular school, trust me, if you check schools in Jamaica now, you probably found that 50% of our schools in Jamaica are short of teachers.
Yep.
At least one teacher short.
I think it's more than 50%.
I think it's more. Okay.
It's really
Well,
sad.
you would have known, but I from my thinking and understanding, I'm saying about 50%. And there are schools that are without 2 and 3 teachers.
Yeah.
We can testify for that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure every single day I've seen the advertisement coming out for teachers. So, based on that, if more or if we have any exodus coming for September, Peter will not just say Jackson. Peter will start to count and
The
say
high
how many
schools
schools.
with the high schools his nephews want to go.
Pulmas and JC.
Okay. You're gonna be talking about Wilmas and JC too.
Short and teachers. I was at a PTA meeting today, this afternoon, late this afternoon, and their parents complaining about their children not getting enough content and time for mathematics because the teachers would have left the school and the school take a while to replace those teachers. And while the school was saying no, they had replacement. The teachers said the replacements were merely substitutes. So they are not satisfied unless they know that this teacher or this class have a permanent teacher.
Exactly.
So
It
you see
is
the
crazy out
pressure.
here.
Yes. So the parents are putting the school administrators under pressure, and they don't have the liberty to choose from.
No.
There's, I
Schools have
mean,
to be playing gymnastics. Some schools employing teachers who they come into the schools and they have issues. You just have to take what you
they're not
get.
able
But
to
they're
even
running.
do background checks.
Yeah, exactly. So some of
That's
them just come and they do any little thing that they still want to do because they know that we're short on teachers. So any little thing. They're not coming and being like, I'll be a praise. They just continue the same old way. And sometimes it's hard to let them go because if you let them go, you're gonna have so many children being
Yes.
disruptive, making noise. It is so hard.
It is, and it is also difficult for us to maintain the level or the standards in the school because the turnover of teachers and because we have little no continuation, yeah,
Yeah.
with some teachers, and it's difficult. We are seeing what it is now. We are reaping the negative rewards of these migration of teachers,
Yes.
no doubt about it. And I hope that this Minister of Education, before May, a matter of fact, maybe May is too late. A matter of fact, she need to come out now and make some good offers. Whatever it takes, it's difficult. I'm not gonna say financial offers. I'm not gonna say monetary offers
Mm-hmm.
because I know where the country sits. I know that there's a cry for money, but there are other things that I believe could go in. And many of us would say JT not doing anything for us, not negotiating. But this situation past JT, the government need to do something.
Something. But I want to tell you that some teachers, if they were given what we call not money, but s- some some
Benefits.
things,
Some other benefits.
the benefits, it would, some teachers would feel better. Um,
Right.
you're
Mhm.
probably going to purchase a car if you can get some kind of discount. You're bringing in a car, something. They will take benefits and not necessarily money. So the
I mean,
government can think about those too. But when you just go and remove everything that we had to
you
reach,
can imagine. Why can't the government give teachers 100% health benefit
and
instead
trust
of
me,
80%?
and if and trust me, it is JT, and a lot of persons don't know that it is JT who fought hard for us to get that 80%, because what? The teachers who are members keep turning to JT to help them with their medical bills. And it is beyond what they can assist with. So they really had to work hard with the government and fight for us to get 80%.
By the way, as you mentioned JT, does JT have anything in place for teacher welfare?
Yes,
Can
they do.
they have something where they can assist teachers who are seeking assistance, to maybe for medical emergencies?
Yes, but I want to add but to that. They
Jesus.
try, they really try, I think. But trust me, when you think about how many schools in Jamaica, it, you the fact that I would have sat on general council, I would have
Hmm.
heard, the amount of persons who would come to them for medical assistance. It burst the welfare committee on a long time. So, and then not everyone can be helped. And then when they're not helped, you feel like the JT can do for you and should be able to do it for you. But with everything, there's a budget.
I think they need to limit that welfare help, and I'm coming because we need to close the show, on major surgeries. That level of assistance.
And I'm not sure how they go about it, but I just know they have a little something there, but it is oversubscribed.
Oh my. And
It
you
is
see, why I tell you, trust me, it's
because
difficult.
the, you will not understand even the fact that they stretch us to 65.
Hmm.
And as you get older, before you reach the 60, probably you start coming down with different medical issues. Then by the time you get to 65, some persons really have to work out to the 65. When you see teachers have to go to JT and say, what? We would have signed something to say from 2018, and we were reminded this evening, from 2018 to 2023, you phase us into going off at 65. But
Hmm.
so many teachers that have gotten their letter
Yes.
after 2023 to go off early. when these persons really should have been going up to age 65. Now you're still paying your mortgage. You get a letter to say it's time to go home and your mortgage there to be paid for 2 years, and the government and your pension is 60% of your salary.
Oh, I'm
So
not 100% sure.
yes, it's about 60% of your salary. So how do you survive? So when teachers had to reach out, so people need money for medical bills to pay their mortgage. Not
What question, Ria? What question on that though? Would the additional 5 years will allow those teachers to finish their mortgage?
yeah, because it depends on when you got your house.
Oh, interesting. So that's why I ask, because it is that some persons would have the mortgage would have calculated at age 60.
Remember, you have to think about there are different scenarios. Someone may get into, you may be struggling through life, but I'd probably say, just saying, age 40, you decide to go into teaching. And that's when you see yourself up and you can take out a mortgage and you get a home.
So they get 20 years.
You get 20 years or 25 years or 30 years. It depends on the cost of the home.
But they're not going to give you the years past the retirement.
But it's if it's at 65, then you can go up to 65. So
Okay.
when you cut them off before that, then it's a struggle.
It's a problem.
It
I,
is,
I just want to be clear on that.
and
Well,
sometimes,
anyway,
and I'm just talking about the home. What about you have like a loan here and that some loan there that you're supposed to pay off in certain amount of time? So,
well, I tell you, kind of stressing as a teacher, trust me.
mhm.
Everybody bawling, it's time to go home. They're tired, but looking at the other aspect of it. So
Yep,
we are wrapped in a little tight circle, yes, in a
right,
bundle, and
right.
very difficult. All right, Ria, this is coming to the end of the show. Do you have any final statement that you want to say? You want to talk to the JTA officials or the members? What can we expect going forward? You are confident that the teachers will get back their monies by Friday.
Well, you did say someone sent you a text to say that the money is appeared already in their
Yes,
account.
some
So,
person saying that
that,
it has been
so if they
okay.
have started, I think they will finish the journey. Fingers crossed. Yes, yeah, and that is very good. That is very good.
Okay.
I just want to say to my colleagues, hold on. Teaching, they say teaching, it's a calling, right? It's a calling.
Yes.
And because it's a calling, like so many other things you are called to do, you stay with it. Um, bring the passion with it, right? And know that at the end of the day, it's about the children that we have in our space, that the children that are entrusted to us, that we're helping to impact Jamaica land we love. There's no other way that I can say it. It is not what we want it to be. I remember, and we must still thank the JTA. They have done a lot
Yes.
for us. They have done a lot for us. And some persons do not want to join the JTA because they think that why do I need to pay when others pay and I will still get the increase? But there's something called gratitude, and the JT have worked hard. We may not always be happy with some of the things, but they have worked hard to help us. I love to serve, so I will continue to serve. To the JT, continue to strive and do not allow politics to be the order of the day, because so many teachers are looking from the outside in and think that the JT is purely about the politics. But of
Yes.
course,
Yes.
the administrative arm and the political
Yes.
arm, so we can't get away from the politics of it, to be fair, right? But JT has done a lot for us. and we have to give God thanks. There are many reasons, many things. Because when you look at the health benefit that you mentioned, I mean, what were we getting before? We have a very good benefit. One time we couldn't think about going up to Andrews and the private hospitals. Talk
True.
truth, unless you have a
True.
lot of money.
Sure. No doubt.
As a teacher, when you go to the doctor, they ask, where do you want to go? Do you want to go Andrews or Medical Associates? Before that, to go regular little hospital, we had to go. So,
Oh, I tell you.
yeah, they have done a lot for us, and it is true they're bargaining with the government. So don't kill the JTA as if they're not doing anything. We all benefit from what they do. To the ministry, just have a little more compassion upon us now. We need the money. We work, we work ourselves really hard. Yesterday
Yes.
at parent day, and the amount of parents that came in, when I was finished with all those parents, I had I could do nothing else but stretch myself out.
Can
They
imagine.
Yeah, man, I was stretched out. I just had to stretch out my body. I was too tired. I sat down from about 12:30, and when I got up, literally got up, was minutes to 5. I was in pain. My back was aching. I was just beat. So the struggles are real. I know. If anyone from the ministry hearing, the struggles are real. And we'll take up a good increase. We'll take a good one. Yeah. A proper
All
one
right.
that gives us a livable income.
So we are in negotiation period now, 25, 28. 25 to 28. All right. Hope that it will work out. Anyway, people, I want to thank you very much for joining. And even though we have to close now and our president have not grace us tonight, I'm sure that he will do at the nearest time. And as soon as that is available, hopefully, even tomorrow, we will have him on because we want to discuss just more than that. And we will carry a little bit more. So stay tuned and thanks for joining. Thanks for your conversation. Thank you for being a part of the Saudi Crest family and continue to support the team. As you realize, people, the Saudi Crest TV for all your audiovisual services, including sporting events or games, funeral, parties, graduation, prize giving, weddings, etc. Call or text 876-501-6625 or WhatsApp business at 876-212-4480. Trust me, Saudi Crest is here, going bigger and better. Thank you again and say goodbye. Until then, another night.
Yes. Good night.